Adria. We've got a 30-minute booty routine. This is great to strengthen your backside, also help prevent low back pain, and help improve balance. For this workout, you don't need any piece of equipment, just your body, maybe a mat or a soft surface to lay down on for the latter half of the workout. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start with a very quick 2-minute warm-up to get your body ready, your mind right for this booty workout. So let's start with a hamstring scoop. So we're stretching the back of the leg, get that back nice and tall, warming up your back a little bit. Big arms. Going through this warm-up. Few more. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. We're gonna arms out, butt kick. Squeeze between those shoulder blades. We're doing these butt kicks to get our heart rate up just a little bit. We're warming up the back of the leg and the booty with the butt kicks. The big arms are supposed to get our blood pumping. Get us ready for this workout. Few more seconds. You can sink into those legs a little bit if you want to get the blood pumping a little bit more. 3, 2, 1. Feet wide. We're gonna reach right between those legs for a lateral lunge. Weight is in your heels here. Keep that back nice and tall. Chest is up. Butt goes back. Stretching the inner thigh here. Warming up your booty. Make sure those knees are tracking over your toes. You don't want your knees inside like this from your toes. You want them wide. And lastly, we're gonna take those knees wide, toes wide. We're gonna go sumo squat. Reach up, down, reach up. Every time our booty goes back, our weight's in our heels and our knees are pushing open. Don't bow with this. Keep your chest up, almost like a plie if you're a dancer. I like to look up, follow my hands with my eyes, warms up my neck, release any tension you might have. Let's do one more. Good, roll those shoulders. So we're gonna start out on standing up on our feet. We'll do about, a few minutes, then we'll be on the ground, okay? So we're gonna start with a basic squat. In 3, 2, 1, basic squat. Weights in those heels, squeeze between your shoulder blades. We have 30 seconds in this basic squat. We're doing a lot of squats because it's a really good way, it's a good functional movement. If you have a good squat, you're less likely to have low back pain. So, chest is up, knees are tracking over those toes. Keep a squeeze between your shoulder blades. We have 8 more seconds. Feet are about hip width, a little bit wider. 3, 2, 1. All right, next up, we're gonna go down for 3, 2, 1, up on the toes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, up on the toes. 3, 2, 1. Make sure we keep that chest up. A lot of people, when they go into those squats, they bow. They feel like they're getting really low, but it's a lot of tension on that low back. So make sure we're keeping that chest up. Dropping your butt back and down. 3, 2, 1. Good, let's do one more. 3, 2, 1, and up. Up next, we're gonna hold that squat low and we're gonna cross punches, all right? Here we go. Cross punches. We're pulsing a little bit in those legs. You wanna make it a little bit harder, pulse a little bit bigger as we punch. Strong punches here. We're halfway. Legs should be burning a little bit. Booty, make sure your weight's in your heels so that you can feel your booty here. 3, 2, 1, good. The next move, we're gonna hold that squat with an overhead hold. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Hold that squat, make sure the weight's in your heels. Your arms are up, framing your head. Time slows down when we hold these isometric moves. So it's a really good chance to wiggle your toes. Make sure your weight is in your heels. Make sure your knees are pushing open. And make sure your butt's low enough. We want to have good range of motion here. Abs are engaged. 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Good. 1 down. We got 2 to go. Here we go. Basic squat. Down and up. Round 2. We know what we're doing this time. You can go a little bit faster in that squat if you want to get your heart rate up and burn a few more calories. If you're new to doing these squats with good form, keep your movement slow. Really focus in on that movement pattern. 3, 2, 1. Good. Next we'll have 3 pulls down. Come up on the toes. In 3, 2, go. 3 down. Up on the toes. Good. Whatever feels natural for those hands is good. If those hands are out when you're getting used to that squat pattern, it will help you feel like you're not going to fall backwards. Because if your squat form is good, you might feel like you're going to fall backwards because your butt is going back. So those hands providing some counterbalance can help you feel more secure. Good. That was time. So now we're going to be down and cross with the pulse. Let's go. Crossing and pulsing. Weights in those heels. When the weight comes into the toes, too much pressure is on that low back and your knees. A few more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. The last exercise is going to be that isometric hold. Squat with the hands up here. Let's go. Hands are up. Drop that butt low. Weights in your heels. Abs are engaged. Breathing. Good. Keeping those knees pushing out. 10 more seconds. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Good. We got one more round. This time we're going to make it sumo. Everything's sumo. So knees wide, toes wide in that sumo squat. Let's go. Down, up. When your knees are wide, we got to make sure that we push them open as our butt goes down. If you're not quite flexible enough and you find yourself going like this, bring those toes in a little bit. Find what works for the shape of your hip joint. Knees wide, toes wide. Keep that chest up. A few more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Up next, we're going to be down for 3, and then up on those toes. All right, here we go. 3, 2. Let's go. Down for 3. Up on the toes. Up on the toes. It's probably easier for you to keep your balance in this sumo squat because your butt's going straight down instead of back, like in a basic squat. This sumo squat's really good to get the inner thighs along with your glutes, the outer side of the glutes. A couple more. 3, 2, 1. Good. Up next, we're going to be in that squat. This time, instead of crosses, let's do a ski bag, side to side. All right? Arms are fast, kind of fun. We're working our obliques with that side to side movement. Weights in your heels, even now. Make sure those knees are pushing forward. Pulsing a little bit. 15 seconds. We've got 5 more. 3, 2, 1. Up next, we're going to hold this isometric hold with our arms out straight. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Push those knees open as wide as you can. Weight is in your heels. Abs are working. Those arms are just out. Your shoulders are working here too. Those arms being up are forcing you into good posture so you don't have rounded shoulders in this position. We have muscle memory, so if we go through a move with poor form, our muscles remember that pattern. That's the pattern they mimic. So when you're doing everyday life, you'll have that poor movement pattern. Good. Shake out those legs. All right. Our time on the floor, our time on our feet has finished. We're going to lay on the floor. So we're going to be on all fours. The first move, we're going to pretend there's a beach ball And we gotta get that leg up and over. Let's go. I'm starting with my right leg. I'm gonna do everything 3 rounds on my right leg before we switch over to the left leg. So we should feel a pretty good burn in that right leg before this is all said and done. Pretend you've got a cup of water on your back and you don't want it to spill. So you're trying to move the back as little as possible. That leg is lifting, your butt is what's lifting your leg. Good, rest. Up next, we're gonna bring that leg out to the side and kick, and then bring it back in. Bring it out to the side, kick, and back in. Again, pretend that bottle of water, cup of water is on your back. You don't wanna spill it, so you don't wanna be twisting those hips open. Open, kick, and close. Equal weight in both of your arms. It's easier to put more weight in one side than it is the other. And make sure those abs are working. You're pulling that belly button up. One more. Good. Up next, we're gonna bring that heel up to the ceiling, rotate to 45, and pulse. Kicking with that heel, abs are engaged. Don't arch your back here. You gotta really concentrate on not arching that back. Leading with the heel, pulse, pulse, squeezing your butt. This is the last move on all fours, and then we're gonna roll quickly onto our back. We've got a few more here, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. On your back, we're gonna come into that glute raise, walk your heels out, so your butt is still up, but your legs are out, and walk them back in. You wanna make this a little more challenging, bring those arms up over your head or right over your face, whatever feels good for you. Try to keep your hips level, don't rock one from side to side. Don't overarch your back here either. You don't need to raise those hips too high. That can hurt, cause strain on your back. You wanna feel this mostly in your butt because your butt is what supports your back. All right, let's do one. Actually, that's time. All right, we've got 1 round down, 2 more on this right side. Let's back to those circle kicks, round kicks, up and over that beach ball. Up and over that beach ball. Abs are pulled in, belly button is contracting towards your spine. You're thinking of that glass of water on your back, willing it not to spill. We've got 9 more seconds. Trying to make that a big circle, a big beach ball that you're lifting your leg over. Good. Next up is those roundhouse kicks. We'll raise the knee up, kick. Let's go. Raise the knee up and kick. Equal weight in both of your hands. Doing great. Still keep picturing that bottle of water on your back. Don't let it spill. If you've ever taken a kickboxing class, you're imagining that roundhouse kick to have a little bit of power behind it. Good, and time. Up next, we've got those donkey pulses. Abs are working, bring that heel up, 45, and pulse. So it's kind of pulsing to the back corner of your room, and you're really focusing on kicking through that heel. Working hard not to arch your back, not to let your shoulders sink into your ears. Very isolated movement. It's a little movement, but that butt is working. Everybody, good, release. On your back, we've got those blue marches. Let's go. Everybody should consciously work their booty just as a good functional movement so that everything you do, you'll have more muscle in your rear end to help support your back and support you through that movement. Make sure you're in your heels here also. That's what gets your rear end. All right, we've got one more side on this right, one more time through on this right side. All fours, big beach ball. Draw that belly button up. If you feel back pain in this move,
Really focus not to arch, so draw that belly button up. You don't have to raise your leg as big.
But you don't want to arch here, because that's putting too much tension in your back.
All right, so draw those abs in.
And rest.
We've got roundhouse kick. In 3, 2, 1, kick. Point your toe in this position. Try to keep both elbows straight. Try to keep your hips level. Let's do one more. Good, we've got those donkey pulses. Raise the heel up, rotate it to the back, and pulse. Let's go. Abs are contracting. Kicking with that heel. After this move, you'll be on your back for one more round of those glute bridge walkouts. In 3, 2, 1. On your back, glute bridge walkouts. This is our last time for these. Let's walk. Walk out and come back in. Trying to keep those hips level. So if you feel those hips rocking back and forth, go ahead and put your arms by your side to give you a little extra support. Good. What we do on the right, we do on the left. So let's come on to all fours. You get a little bit of rest here. If you need a drink between sides, we're gonna do everything exactly the same as the right side with the left side. Those glute march outs will be a little bit different. Let's get set and ready to lift that leg up and over. It's a new side, it's a fresh side. If you've done this video before and you want a little extra challenge, you can do all of these moves in bear, meaning that knee's not resting on the floor, it's 1 inch off. You can maybe do one round in bear, relax. Maybe all the rounds in bear, that's gonna make it extra spicy. Roundhouse kicks. When you're in that bear position, you're gonna be feeling your core work and your arms work a little bit harder. Everything's working a little bit harder, but the trick with bear is you're trying to make sure that knee is just 1 to 2 inches off the floor. You don't want it way up here in the air. All right, 1 to 2 inches off the floor. One more. Good. All right, we've got those donkey pulses. Raise that heel up, back of the room, and pulse. Abs are engaged, shoulders away from the ears. However you did it on the right side is how you should do it on the left side. So if it's your first time through, keep those knees on the floor. Good, that's time. Okay, this time, instead of walking those feet out in that march, we're just going to march them. So bring one leg up and then the other. Keep those hips level as we march. Weight is in your heels. If you want it to be a little bit more challenging, you can walk those heels out a little bit further, maybe go a little wider. That's gonna challenge too. Going wider to keep the hips level is more challenging. Good, 1 down. We've got 2 to go, back on all fours. We're gonna lift that leg up and over right here. I always like to think about the muscle that's working. I think about what it looks like. I think about what activates it. So this big circle motion is working all of your gluteus, all right? Roundhouse, going in 3, 2, 1, up and kick. If you're a runner, this is a great video for you. Those glutes get neglected a lot of times when we're running, especially you're training for that long race, and then you're more susceptible to knee injury and lower back injury. This would be a great video. Good, that's time. We've got the donkey kicks. In 3, 2, 1. This would be a great video for you to add to your running regimen, maybe on your off days. I had a lot of back pain and knee pain when I was only running. And I wasn't running far distances or long distances, but I wasn't doing anything else in my training. When I started adding more functional movements to my training, I was able to add a lot of miles rest. I was able to add a lot of miles on your back. March. I added a lot of miles to my regime and I had no pain. Adding those functional movement exercises really helped get me completely off of Advil and Tylenol. I just didn't need it anymore. So I'm gonna widen my feet here to make this a little more challenging, get a little more core work in there. Good, we've got one more time. This is flying by. All right, lift that leg up and over. When we are first beginning to strengthen those glutes, we don't want them to be burning and hurting and totally fatigued, because these are muscles that we don't typically use. We're not used to using them if you live the normal American life. So when we fatigue them, we start compromising the movement pattern. 3, 2, 1. Roundhouses are next. We don't want to compromise that movement pattern, because then we're more susceptible to injury. So when we're strengthening the accessory muscles, those glute muscles, we want to start easy. We don't want it to be the most challenging thing we've ever done. We want to be able to build on it. So a little bit of burn is good, but too much burn is not what we're looking for in this functional movement. 3, 2, 1, good. Pulses are up next. Raise that heel, tilt to the 45, and pulse. Got a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1, good. Last time through, we've got those glute marches. Going in, 3, 2, 1. March those feet. I'm gonna start with my feet a little bit wider this time, since it's the end of our workout. I'm really focusing on those lower abs to support my hips so that they don't rock side to side. I'm thinking about tucking my tailbone under here, keeping my pelvis in a neutral, well, my lumbar spine and my pelvis all neutral. Good, relax, relax. Okay, let's come onto your tummy. We're gonna do just a little bit of up dog. So push up, squeeze those glutes, getting that back into extension. I hope you enjoyed this booty workout. Don't skip the stretch. The stretch is what really helps release those glutes after working them and will help your back feel better also. All right, push up into plank. That right leg is gonna come forward into pigeon. So we're gonna start up high in that pigeon, really release those hips, and then later on we'll lay out over it to get the stretch at a different angle. I
I like to rock side to side in this move to really loosen up that hip joint, unlock the muscle. Good, now lay out those arms over your leg.
That head comes down to the floor. Deep breathing. Think about that hip unlocking. We hold so much tension in those hips. It's good to just take a minute and be intentional at letting go of that tension and letting go of that stress. Taking the time to make sure we get a good 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's push up and we'll switch legs. So the opposite leg comes forward. Rock through that stretch, really loosen up that hip. Three, 2, 1. Good. Now lay your heart out over that leg. Forehead comes to the floor. Surrender to that stretch. Deep breathing and let go of that tension. Breathe straight into your belly here. One more breath. Good. Come on, push up. We're gonna come onto all fours. We're gonna contract the abs and round the spine as big as we can, and then relax and arch as big as we can. Good. Contract, round, relax, and arch. A few more. Round and arch. Couple muscle groups that get tight in a lot of people who suffer from chronic back pain, and that's the hamstrings, which is the back of the leg. The whole glute complex can get tight. The hip flexors, and of course the back. So this cat-cow is great at getting some movement between each of those vertebrae and relaxing your back. 2, 1. Good. That right leg is going to come forward so we can stretch out those hamstrings. Really lean forward here. Don't round the back. I don't really care if you can touch your knee, your nose to your knee if your back is rounded. So you want to keep the back nice and tall. Think about bringing your belly down to that thigh. And if you had a tail, bringing it up to the ceiling. We're going to get a good hamstring stretch in here. Good, and then come forward onto that right foot. Raise your arm up to stretch that hip flexor on the opposite side. So really push that hip forward, lean away, pull that arm up like you're pulling your rib cage away from your pelvis. We're gonna hold that 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Back on your knees. Left leg is gonna come forward, and we're gonna hinge forward for that hamstring stretch. I bring my toe up in this hamstring stretch just so that I can stretch the calf muscle, my gastroc behind my, where it attaches behind my knee. That gets tight for me. Keep that back nice and tall. 5 more seconds here. Good, and come forward on that leg. Raise your arm up, push those hips forward, stretching out that hip flexor. If you need a little bit more in the lower body stretch, check out our lower body stretch video. It has a whole lower body flow that will help you feel amazing. It will be great for to restore length to those muscles. All right. Go ahead, stand on up. You finished this booty routine, 30 minutes. Hopefully you feel amazing. Let us know what you think. Subscribe to our channel, like, share, comment. We want to hear from you. Have a good week.